God's Word Express.
Imagine walking into a church, right? The music is incredible, the teaching is just brilliant, but you instantly sense you've walked into a total war zone.
Oh, yeah, you could totally feel that tension in the air immediately.
Exactly. There's, gossip in the corners, political factions forming, people throwing side eyes.
Yeah.
And honestly, nobody sticks around in a war zone. I mean, no matter how beautiful the building is.
Right, because a toxic environment just completely neutralizes all that great programming. So today we are looking at Dr. Kavyd's sermon series on explosive growth in ministry.
Yeah, from New Wine International Church, right?
Yes, specifically episode 4, which is all about resolving conflicts. We really want to figure out how to disarm those relational bombs before they even go off.
And he anchors this whole strategy on this really fascinating theological concept from Ephesians. It's this idea of topos.
Right, topos.
Which translates roughly to a vacant room or like a foothold for the devil created by unresolved anger and lies.
And when we think about that psychologically, a topos is basically a structural vacuum. When an organization leaves unresolved tension or ambiguity just hanging in the air, human drama naturally rushes in to fill that void.
Right. Nature abhors a vacuum.
Exactly. And Pastor Katie Vinn points out that the fastest way leaders accidentally build these vacant rooms is through tachios, which means rushing leadership decisions.
Okay, wait, let me push back on that for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you're launching, say, a new ministry or a cell group, don't you want to capture people's early enthusiasm? Like handing someone a title, maybe calling them a jarn or teacher, that seems like a smart way to make them feel valued, lock in that commitment.
Well, I mean, it sounds logical, but the sources actually warn strongly against that. Promoting unvetted people just creates total chaos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because leadership isn't just about enthusiasm. It requires relational equity and trust. And you just cannot fast-track those things. He actually shares this cautionary tale where he made a brand-new attendee a cell group leader after just 2 weeks.
Wow, 2 weeks. That's fast. I'm guessing the existing members felt completely blindsided.
Oh, absolutely. The backlash was massive, mainly because that new leader just hadn't proven their character to the group yet.
Which makes total sense. And I guess that leads to the next crucial phase, because even after you establish those vetted, mature leaders, you still have to protect them from human nature.
Right. You have to secure the organization against the 2 biggest conflict traps, which are mismanaged money and unspoken grudges.
Yeah, and the financial strategy he outlines is actually really specific. He says you need to set up a financial committee with an odd number of people, so at least 3, who are completely unrelated to each other.
And the mechanism there, it isn't just about preventing actual embezzlement. It's about eliminating the mere opportunity for suspicion.
Because secrecy around money just breeds resentment faster than almost anything else.
Exactly. By forcing transparency and eliminating tie votes with that odd-numbered, unrelated committee, you close that vacant room entirely.
Now, dealing with unspoken grudges requires a totally different kind of transparency. He pulls from Matthew 18, which is all about confronting issues directly, but he really emphasizes using "I feel" statements rather than, aggressive "you are wrong" accusations.
Oh, and I love the analogy he uses here. He tells this hilarious story about a guy playing a game, and he cheats by stepping on someone else's balloon before the game even starts.
Yes, and that kind of minor infraction is exactly where toxic resentment starts to build up.
Right. When someone steps on your balloon, metaphorically speaking, and you don't confront it right away, it just ferments. You end up carrying that frustration into every future interaction with that person.
But I mean, to actually get people to confront those balloon steppers, the environment has to feel genuinely safe. And Pastor Kevin uses a really vivid analogy for this. He talks about building a good public toilet.
I know, it's such an unforgettable comparison.
And it really is.
He says open meetings need to function like comfortable, modern sitting toilets. They have to be safe spaces where team members can just release their frustrations without fear of punishment.
Right, because if leaders get defensive or aggressively shut down dissenting ideas, they turn that meeting into a painful squat toilet.
And no one wants to use that.
Exactly. People avoid those at all costs. So instead of bringing their issues to the actual meeting, they hold on to them, which inevitably leads to gossiping in the parking lot.
So true. And to keep those communication lines open, leaders have to stay deeply connected to the ground truth. You can't just dictate policy from an office.
Yeah, he actually admits he isn't going to play football with the church members, but he makes it a huge point to join them for shabu, sharing a hot pot meal.
Because breaking bread like that removes the formal hierarchy. That shared meal keeps the leader approachable.
Right, they can hear the subtle brewing conflicts before they turn into those full-blown war zones we talked about earlier.
Exactly, because explosive growth isn't about flashy programs. It's about systematically eliminating the friction of human conflict.
It's closing those vacant rooms before resentment can even move in. So take a look at your own workplace, your community, or even your family right now. Are there any vacant rooms of unresolved tension that you are accidentally leaving open?